Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel, a place to talk about storytelling through reading, writing, and gaming. My name is k.r.morrighan, and today we have a Let's Play of Arcade Spirits. I was immediately drawn to this game just because it's a dating sim, and I like doing dating sims to learn about romance and storytelling, things like that, but um, it has this really cool vibe to it, and it's fairly new. I'm a little behind the ball. I think it came out like a month and a half ago, but let's check it out. I'm really excited. The whole aesthetic, not so much at this point, not so much at this point, but when I was purchasing it on Steam and stuff, it reminded me of Dream Daddy. It had this really similar like aesthetic, and I love Dream Daddy, so let's hope this works out. Current emotional health rating low. What does that mean? I don't. Overriding denial of assistance. Why'd you even ask then? Hope should be rewarded, spirit must be restored. So the reason I wanted to do this game on this channel is because it's LGBTQ friendly, or I like to use MOJI, which is marginalized orientations and gender identities, I think. I don't know. I prefer that acronym just because you don't have to like tack on 5 million letters to make it inclusive. But, so you can change your pronoun. I'm gonna go with they. Let's see, hairstyle. Alright, so kind of minimalist here in the character creator, but that's okay. Ooh, between the short and the medium. Actually, wait. Okay. I like the short. Let's do cool hair. I like that one. This is cool that you can choose so many varieties in eye color and stuff. We're in a pretty sci-fi-ish universe here, so I feel like I can go for a pretty like sci-fi eye color. I like that one. I like how it matches their hair. Okay. Whoa, that's aggressive. I wish you could change the style of the clothing, but alright. I'm liking the black. Let's see, what's a good name? I always struggle with names. It's a good neutral name. Bradley. How do you spell Bradley? There an E? Oh, there is now. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Alright, cool. Enough variety to make me feel like I made a little bit of my own character, but not too elaborate, which is fine. Okay. Yes. That's correct. Premium level assistance. Alright. It is the future year 20XX, a dark era in which mankind is pushed to the brink of catastrophe. Woe be to the human race, plagued by evil, terrifying, utterly sinister, I don't know. Robots, maybe? Evil robots? How's that work? Yeah, no, sorry. The future year 20XX is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. Non-flying cars, smartphones, pro-gamer celebs, internet trolls, personal assisted AI, cheese-flavored snack foods. Yo, take me there, I'm ready. But even with such wonders as 20XX holds, to date I've had no part in any of them. I've worked as a dishwasher, a shoe salesperson, and lifeguard for the local community pool. I haven't had those exact jobs, but I've had equally bleak jobs, and I feel this person very much. I don't care what era of human history you live in, kitties peeing in the pool is pretty much a constant thing. Trust me on this. As for the busting metropolis of a 24-hour neon utopia you see here, my little corner of it isn't nearly as shiny and cool. Let me show you. Behold, my quaint little apartment. Okay, I guess this is my apartment. Is that a porg? I think it's a penguin. Up here in the corner? It looks enough like a porg that I'm happy about it, but it's probably a penguin. Okay, sorry. Can't complain, really. It's paradise in a relative sense. I only pay half the rent. Neighborhood stabbings have been down this year. Also, my roomie picks up any stray socks or shirts I leave lying around. In fact, as things go, I'm living large compared to most in my family tree. Or at least I was, before today.
You got fired from another job?
Oh, cute, they read it.
Seriously? Seriously? That's 3 jobs since we left the suburbs.
Oh my god, she's cute.
I don't get why you aren't more upset about this. I'm upset. I'm upset on your behalf. Come on, share the load a little, okay?
I feel like if you have lost multiple jobs at a certain point, it just, like, rolls off. You don't even... Pool's closed, Juniper. Not much I can do about that. Why get upset? I see it makes sense now why they didn't have a super complex character creator, because they have this, like, really stylized thing here, and it's probably easier. I'm not the complaining sort. These things just happen. Things fall apart. The center does not hold. Oh, I see. So we kind of stopped getting her reading at a certain point. That's a bit morbidly... I'll try to do her voice. That's a bit morbidly poetic, isn't it? No, I mean, the community center literally fell apart and the pool won't hold water anymore. Whatever, I'll just get another job. Any job will do as long as we can make the rent, right? Wrong. I saw how mopey and tired you were coming home every night from those other crappy jobs. I feel like a lifeguard at a pool isn't necessarily like a lifelong aspiration. I don't know. I mean, I've only known a couple people who were lifeguards, but it's exhausting. Like, mentally exhausting. So I could see being excited to be done with that for a little while. At least when you got back from the pool each day, I sometimes caught you smiling. Aw, look at her face. She's cute.
What's the point of us moving away from home if not to get away from all of that?
Oh, geez. A dark
I
past.
mean, we both left that town so we could try to find happiness, right? I just want us to be happy. Both of us.
Oh, I want that too, Juniper. I thought you hated your job. Is this the kind of person I...
Come on.
My mind's made up. We're going to find you a job that's just as good, if not better, than the lifeguarding job. Let's start from the top. What's your dream? Well, I'm standing in front of class to give a speech, and I forgot to put on my pants, and... Your dream job. Yeah, Bradley, that's a nightmare. Oh. I don't know, Juniper. Never really given it any serious thought. Well, I guess I get to choose. For pointing out a little pink icon. It's a virtual life coach app. Mine keeps me from being late to meetings. That's what I need in my life. Somebody to keep me from being late. Totally free, too. My cousin introduced it to me. Wasn't he the guy who ended up in the ER after making a homemade flamethrower? It would have worked if he got the fuel mixture in his water gun right. Anyway, I'm sending a copy to you now. I got a pop-up an hour ago offering me 500 points just for recommending it to a friend. Great timing, huh? That's how these things get you, Juniper. Well, as long as you're earning points, I guess. At least give it a try, okay? Maybe it could point you at some good jobs. Ones with less socks and or urine. I'll think about it. Okay, but don't think too long, right? I really like the art of this. This is cool. Like the way they did. It's very different from earlier when we were talking to Juniper. I think he captures like the loneliness and whatnot. It's more that she has enough trouble in her life without troubling herself over my life too. Oh, Bradley, that's what friends are for. Both of us had it rough, up to and through the point where we left home to try to start a new life. A better one. She deserves better than me and my problems. Oh, Bradley. Bradley, baby. Oh. Bless her heart, she means well. She's been firmly in my corner for all my life, the two of us, against any dark forces aligning against me. I feel like they're setting her up to be, like, the main... I feel like childhood friends are always supposed to be, like, the main romance target. Personally, I never really understand. I can't imagine dating any of my childhood friends. Maybe that's just me. But that's not to say she's good at being my advocate. Enthusiastic, yes. But skilled? No. Well, we can't all be perfect, Bradley. Typically, the fantastic opportunities and self-help resources she sends my way are pyramid schemes or something. She's gung-ho about lending me a helping hand, but yeah, I mean, she did recommend, like, a self-help app to you, so I can see the pyramid scheme thing. So the main reason I went ahead and installed the app was to make sure Juniper wasn't about to get her kidneys sold on the black market or something. Still, no sense messing around with it now. A good night's rest would act as a neat little emotional reset button, right? Right. Oh, Bradley. Something tells me you have sleepless nights, Bradley. No dreams, no nightmares. No? Okay, I was wrong. Just 8 hours of sweet, sweet black. By the time morning light leaked in through the cracks in the blinds, I didn't care about being unemployed again. It's weird how this is like this 3D style and nothing else is. Juniper had already left to catch a bus to her office. She typically leaves before dawn, but she'd left a note for me, pinned to the tiny fridge we shared. Oh, excuse me. Remember, download app, find dream job, make money, sort your life out. I believe in you. That's a lot for one day, Juniper, alright? Let them take things one thing at a time. So, moment of truth. Do I trust in Juniper's weird little app, or just go find some job that pays well enough to cover the bills? Oh, this is like a huge life choice. Oh my god. Okay. So, Bradley, you should settle for whatever. Okay, I wish there was like a third option that was like, get something now and also give the app a try. Why can't I do both? I'll settle. I feel like I've just doomed my character to death. I could just call up the classifieds on my phone, look for something nice and safe. My family's had bad luck chasing down dreams. I know better than to do the same. Oh my god, Bradley. Although, that little pink icon is tempting. What do I do? Okay, I feel like they're not railroading me, but I feel like they're strongly suggesting that I choose the app. Believe in hope and take a risk. Figuring at the very least your miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I loaded up, tapped the icon, and... Oh my god, can I date this person? Hello! Anybody else would freak out over a cute girl climbing out of their phone. Me, I went, huh. Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, you know, not actually magical realism here. Very normal in the distant future year 20XX. I want that. She's cute.
For downloading Iris, your personal life coach.
Thanks, Iris.
This is the ad-supported free version. Sponsored by Pizza Yums.
Pizza Yums? I want those in my real life.
When you have pizza on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime.
I did know that, because I do have pizza anytime, Iris.
Wow. Would you like to subscribe to Pizza Facts?
Yes. Yes, Pizza Facts.
Subscribing to Pizza Facts.
Most important choice I've made so far.
I'm here to help you get your dream job, your dream house, and your dream partner.
Ooh.
I'm here to make all your dreams come true.
Wow, Iris, that's a lot. pretty tall order for an app to do. Or are you some sort of wish-granting genie? Well, I suppose, in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database-searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. She reminds me of like Effie. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and a half-finished book and other items strewn about my apartment, doing the same thing in my room right now. Motivation is something I have a ton of. Honest.
Hooray!
That's super! I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure. Why should I use this app at all? I like Bradley. They know how to get to the center of the question. They don't beat around the bush. Yes, Bradley. I mean, my phone already had a voice-activated assistant AI. I could just say, hey phone, search the web for job listings, and it would work just as well. Ah, but I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program with more heart. She's cuter than the average program. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding you a perfect path in life. All thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper identity identifier system. That is super freaking robotic sounding, Iris. Between you and me, they really wanted an acronym that matched my name, but couldn't find out what to do with the letter R. Would you like to know more? Oh no, I need the tutorial. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way you can be the sort of person you want to be. This system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot five different identity identifiers in your responses to people. Quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. I feel like Bradley is not basic. But I also feel like they aren't any of these other things. So we'll figure it out. Sounds to me like your programmers also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. Like Bradley. Perfect. That's correct. My branding game is on point. Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of a situation. Just the thing for picking up someone's spirits. But a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground, but that might not take someone's feelings into account. Kindly responses are compassionate and empathetic and gentle in nature. They're careful with the feelings of others. But they're sometimes a bit wishy-washy as a result. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. But it also means being blunt, confrontational, and aggressive, so be careful. Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving the conversation along while learning more and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both. Who knows? It's up to you. So what, you're saying I should try to crack jokes or be super gutsy? Oh, and never speak basically. I mean, being basic's bad, right? It sounds bad.
Nope.
Heck no, they're all useful in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you should say, and go along with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you could gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. Now let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? Hi, jokes. Oh, so there's not always every option. Hi, jokes. I'm dad. Oh, she's disappointed in me. Seriously? Hey, I never said I was good at dad jokes, just that I could go for them. So now you've seen the So now that you've seen the identity indicators in action, do you want to see the indicators like that so you can make an informed decision? If not, I can hide the indicators, keep it a surprise. Oh, that's an interesting question. I want to hide them just because I feel like it'll make it more authentic in terms of the character I want to create. So mysterious. Okay, I'll hide them from you. You'll always be able to spot basically responses, though. As we go along, I'll analyze and tell your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now. Such strong personality. You asked me a single question. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Studies show that achievements, or chivos as the kids say, encourage app engagement. Chivos. Is that like a modern phrase that I'm not aware of, or did they just make that up for this game? Okay, well, what's with the empty space on the left? I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. Will you also tell me? Oh, that's me. So, will you also tell me what the correct responses are to avoid... Oh. Sorry. Bradley, you're looking at this the wrong way. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them, and it'll be obvious when you're doing that. Okay, so people are generally going to be nice, she's saying. I promise you that if you bungle a few social encounters, it really won't hurt anything. No cheating needed. Just relax and have fun. So they're saying, like, don't save scum. You can access your scorecard anytime you like with the Q key, or click on the score in the upper right corner of your screen. Okay, so now I understand that this app is literally the foundation of the game, so I literally couldn't have not downloaded it. And that's everything, ta-da! Okay, but how was any of this supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roomie claims you're a great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking the quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that?
It'll help me understand your spirit, of course.
Okay. Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? Oh my god, what if we're a ghost? What if that's the twist at the end of the game? They were ghosts the whole time? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost. That's the rule.
No, silly. I mean your spirit. Your hopes and dreams. Your life's passions. I can even help you find romance.
Romance! That's why I'm here. Romance? Seriously? Seriously, often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place, but if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. Workplace dating, well, that's a recipe for disaster, and hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kinda awkward. Or by looking for love and ready to start right out of the gate. Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? Oh, I like that. That's a nice option. Just because this is a romance channel, I'm not going to do that, but... I want to be flirty. Let's definitely be flirty. I think I'm mature enough to juggle both at once. Why not? Super! And remember, the choice is yours. If you're not comfortable with other people, stay professional. Now, let's get you started. To finish analyzing your social history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Aha! I knew it! This is some kind of scam. I'm going to wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor.
That command or file name?
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry. I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream. I feel like they're gonna actually get my information, like, the way they're so... Just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18th time's the charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview 30 minutes from now! Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those. Please, I don't think that's too much to ask. What? Bradley. For your interview, silly, you want to look your best. But how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple, I'm awesome like that. Can this be a real life app? Helps you find your dream job, gets you a romantic partner, or just friends. Now get a move on, tut-tut. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away. Yo, I'm not prepared. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I feel like they're giving me choices, but I feel like they're not really choices. Get dressed for Iris's job interview. Yeah. I feel like we're grabbing life by the horns. Is that an expression? A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right here, rather than hop a bus to meet up with what were very likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. But me, I was already getting dressed before she'd finished that sentence. Bradley is like beating themselves up, hardcore. It's not that I believed the silly app's claims at serving my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. On a silver platter. Honestly, I expected another shoe salesman job at best. But, well. Oh, see, this is how they cover it up. What the hell? Let's do this. So what's the harm in driving into something this wacky? Okay, there could be a lot of harm, granted, but the alternative is to mope around our apartment for weeks. Then, egads, go get a job anyway. Egads. My grandmother used to always say egads. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So I thought, screw it. I'm in on this runaway train. Let's see how far it goes. And as I came to realize weeks later, turns out that was the best impulsive decision I've ever made. Oh, let's go to the boring clothing store. Delightfully dull. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building. Although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. This is, well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into a tight space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded-up health spa, once called lattes and enemas, which sounds, yeah, that's rough. Wub sub. Let's go there.
Hey, listen.
What do you think? That's funny that they did the hey listen. It's a cute reference. I think that's two things no human being should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. The one in the middle, silly! What, behind the arcade? It is the arcade! Huh. Trust me on this. I referenced and cross-referenced and cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job! My dream job? Really? Come on, Bradley, working in an arcade is going to be, like, super fun.
99.97%.
I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are a big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celeb, 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. But, well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who make it can secure fame and fortune. But those who don't, well, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. What is this? Video games weren't always popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Back in the year 1980 something, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad, like hula hoops. No mainstream acceptance. Hula hoops are awesome. I work with someone who owns a hula hoop company, so... For instance, one of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kid's movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted a photo. Oh my god, this is so good. If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it would ruin video games for years. Really? Did E.T. really ruin, like, did that really ruin video? I mean, I know it sucked, but was that the reason? Fortunately, cooler head prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. Oh, if only, Bradley. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like for people in the darkest timeline where everything went wrong. Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? I'm in like a weird opinion on this because I guess I'm not like a mainstream normal person, but I would say gamers aren't really that nerdy. Like, a lot of people play video games, but like hardcore gamers maybe are considered nerdy, but like not that bad. Arcades are vanishing though. There's not really arcades, but there are a lot of like bar arcades kind of coming back. So we're living in like a third alternate timeline where it's like gonna be okay. The mind boggles. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Yo, Bradley, you want the risk. You're a risk taker. Admit it. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but... I mean, are you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure. She's like 99.7% sure, Bradley. That's more than 99%.
99.97%.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, that's like 100% sure. Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying, but short-lived? This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot inside an arcade in, oh god, the dark flashback. 15 years? I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. I wonder why I stopped going to them. Oh my god, Bradley, we're rediscovering your secret passion. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework.
My sources say yes.
When I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. It's designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that's currently laser-targeted on getting you exactly what you need, right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job, Bradley is this kind of odd mix of, like, risk-taker and then, like, nihilistic realist. What makes you think that's going to happen? Because it does. It always does. Bradley is like that trapped, hopeful, risk-taking wild spirit inside a like beat-up adult body that's like telling you that life will get you down. And Bradley, we just need to like crack through that, you know, nihilist. Not that there's anything probably the nihilist, but I think in Bradley's case it's holding them back. If you just crack through that shell that you've created around yourself and like release that inner wild spirit, Bradley. Let's do it. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. Honestly, Bradley, I think most people are like that. I don't think your family's alone. You always have to be ready for the worst. It's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my mouth to protest, and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. That's what I mean. That's that, like, youthful free spirit that's lurking inside Bradley. I mean, what the hell? Why not? Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what I told myself when I walked out the door this morning, wasn't it? No matter how risky, I owed it to myself to jump in with both feet. And when it all came crashing down, well, I'd recovered before. I'd recover again. Meanwhile, may as well take the opportunity in front of me. So I opted to push on through those doors and see what waited for me on the other side. The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze. I'll be at once smelling of copper and corn chips. I'm hungry. I want some corn chips right now. As it's early in the morning on a weekday, it's not too packed with gamers. Although it's so packed with games, I probably have a hard time finding one anyway. At once, I'm struck by something odd. I actually recognize most of these games. Neat! Considering I haven't walked into an arcade in over a decade, that's probably not great. Lots of vintage stuff here from the looks of it, like really old. See, they're worried it's not like up with the times. Although I don't recognize that game with the stage lights and things. Maybe it's karaoke or dancing. a Japanese import Showtime stage. It's one that, oh yeah, it's like Dance Dance Revolution, but also singing maybe? That sounds awesome, but like impossible.
My sources say yes.
That would be Showtime stage, a collaboration of Nihana Heavy Industry Concern and Hubris Records in Germany. It's won a lot of awards. Huh. Yeah, Japan and Germany would collaborate on a game. Japan and Germany are like culturally, there's like a lot of exchange there. I recognize most of these. Whoa, is that seriously a Mr. Moopy's Magical Maze? But the one in the middle with the split screens is new to me. Fist of Discomfort, a hybrid real-time strategy and brawler beat 'em up. It's actually not that new. It's been a staple of the esports scene for the last 8 years. Fist of Discomfort. Oh my gosh. Two genres I was utterly lousy at last time I checked. And over here is an old lady. Sorry, ma'am. I was just talking to myself and had an overwhelming urge to complete my sentences. Thankfully, I don't think she even registered me calling her old. She looks up from her knitting, sitting behind the ticket prize redemption desk, and offers a wrinkly smile.
Well, hello there. Always nice to meet someone new in the Funplex.
The what?
Francine's Arcade Funplex. Didn't you see the sign out front, dear?
I really like this arcade is run by like a eccentric older person.
Well, I chose to knock off the first two words when they got knocked off the building during the storm of 1980. Now it's just the Funplex, I suppose. So, how can I help you, dear?
I like that they beeped it out. Is that when you suplex a clown? Oh my god, I'm crying. These are like drastically different options. A genie in my phone set up a job interview for me. I like the like quiet sarcasm of that. A magical space fairy or something that lives in my phone told me to come here and find my dream job.
Hello!
Hello! I'm a magical space fairy, apparently. I half expected her to send me packing. Pretty impulsive of me to just talk about Iris like that, but she took it in stride.
Oh, my.
Honestly, this lady is in no position to judge anybody. She's got a Pac-Man earring, or sorry, not Pac-Man, what do they call it? Moopy's Magic Maze earrings, so. Oh, hello, my, what they can do with technology these days. Oh, wait, sorry, I have to give her the old lady voice. Oh, hello, my, what they can do with technology these days. I really do marvel at what amazing things young people have at 20, beep. Although, I simply love to take a sledgehammer to those blasted video game consoles that eat at my bottom line, she said with such a kind-hearted and warm smile.
Please call me Francine. As in Francine's Arcade Funplex. Get it?
Yeah, you're the owner.
Actually, thinking about it, I suppose we were originally Frederick's Arcade Funplex, named after my dear departed husband.
Oh, that's sad.
Sadly, he died peacefully in bed some years ago.
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that.
Don't be. He died doing what he loved. Having intensely physical relations with me.
Oh my god, I love this woman. That's information I needed to know. Yes. And you are? Bradley Cater, ma'am. Very well. Shall we retire to the office to conduct your interview? I'd carry on out here, but it is rather noisy, isn't it? Yeah, about that. How do you deal with the constant noise anyway? Oh, eventually you just sort of learn how to filter out all the beeps and boops. That's true. I work at a doggy daycare, and at a certain point you just filter out all the barking and howling. So I can see doing it at arcade too. It can take weeks to become acclimated, I've found, but in the end, done. She quirks an eyebrow. Well now, that's faster than the others, not bad. I just noticed they turned out the sound, that's really funny. So, shall we see what you're made of, This way, please. Francine leads me down a back hallway, past public restrooms. Penguin there, baby. This penguin looks like... I don't like this. Penguin looks like it's, like, hanging on, like, a deadly sharp wire. I don't know. I'm nervous about this. And into a door marked employees only. It takes all my restraint not to point out the extraneous apostrophe. Yes, Bradley, we are the same person. Welcome to a little backstage oasis. I'd suggest we do this in Gavin's office, but it's a bit too untidy. I don't blame the boy. He's been so overworked lately. Please, have a seat and we'll begin. As quirky as this place and its owner might be, at least I'm confident I can nail the interview portion of the proceedings. Yeah, so you go into an interview with confidence, Bradley, you will always come out well. I've interviewed for 12 jobs and held down 3. I know all the standard questions. What are your greatest strengths? What do you see as your weakness? Once I even had to describe how to assemble a Lego set to prove my communication skills. That's an awesome interview question. Considering I ended up washing dishes, I'm not sure why, but point is, I'm confident, prepared, ready.
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
Yo, best interview question ever. I hope they ask me that in my next interview. What? I like the whats.
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
Right, okay, maybe this wouldn't be a typical job interview after all. Why would it be? Look at her. She's obviously a very eccentric, fun lady. No problem. Go with the flow. Let's do this. I hope Brontosaurus is, like, the basic answer. T-Rex, Pterodactyl, Brontosaurus. I'd be a pterodactyl. Being a Brontosaurus would be fun. Being a T-Rex, you'd be, like, distracted. You'd always be, like, running around doing crazy stuff. I'd be a pterodactyl. I've always wanted to be a bird, so... Wait, no. All dinosaurs are basically birds. Let me rephrase. I've always wanted to be a flying bird, unlike this penguin over here who cannot fly. So pterodactyl. Swooping around, catching updrafts, staying way away from meat eaters. Really? How exciting. Even if, technically speaking, pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs. What? What are they?
What's your favorite snack?
What's your favorite snack? Snack? If this was a favorite food question, I'd have this down easy. It's tacos. Oh, it's tacos, but snacks. I mean, a taco can be a snack, Bradley.
Pizza on a bagel.
Say pizza bagel. When pizza's on a bagel, you can have... Hush you. Come now, dear. I don't have all day. After giving it a good thought, well, how could I forget my favorite snack? Tacos are also my favorite snack. A tasty apple with almond butter. Bradley, come on. We gotta be less healthy than that. Tacos, and only tacos. There is no other sustenance. I can see you are a person that knows exactly what they want, and how to get it. You know what they say, you are what you eat. I am a taco. Next question. Nothing I prepared for has helped me plan for this odd interview. I brace myself for the next one.
What assets can you bring to the team during the inevitable zombie apocalypse?
You know what, Francine is asking the important questions. Is this interview for real, or is this a dream? I'd be asking myself the same thing right now, Bradley. As I look into Francine's deadpan expression, I know she's 130% serious. To be honest, I'd probably get eaten on day 1. Can I do either of these things? Medical, you know what? Bradley was a lifeguard. So, I can say that, because medical is true. In a world without lawyers, I'm sure I could do a reasonable job. But seriously, I did have to take a first aid class when I worked at previous jobs, and CPR lessons. That's a great point. Doctors and nurses will all be exposed to assorted patient zeros who will be the first one eaten. People with any medical knowledge will be in a high demand, and could be the difference between your party living and dying slowly and painfully. One more thing. It's so simple and almost actually relevant to career planning that it simply takes me off guard. I told you the magical space fairy in my phone sent me here to find a job.
Seeking a job, true. But that doesn't really answer my question, does it?
Yeah, and also being like, I'm here because an app told me to come here isn't a very good way to answer an interview question, Bradley.
No doubt. You think my interview questions are a bit silly, but complex as more than a collection of tasks and people to perform those tasks.
Hmm.
Most folks my age opening arcades at that time saw it as just another way to make a quick buck. But, well, I saw it as something else. Something more than a way to make a large pile of quarters.
Nice, Francine.
And I expect you'll find the others working here see it as something more too.
I really like that they did voice acting, at least for part of it. I think it's great to have, like, just a little bit, and then you don't necessarily have to act like all of their parts, but the way they kind of do some flavor text to help you kind of understand what they're supposed to sound like. I like that part of it.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing, dearie. And for my friends, it lies within the funplex. Now, if all you want is a paycheck, I can provide that. But the last fellow in your position, that's all he wanted. And he didn't last long. So I ask you again, why are you here?
To be honest, I didn't have a better answer than why not. Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what I told myself. But that wouldn't cut it here. I need to actually think this through. A plex of fun, and I like fun. To be honest, I don't know. Not yet. I'm looking for hope. I haven't had much lately. If I don't dare to take risks, I'll be stuck. Confused silence. That's not what I want. I mean, I guess if Bradley's being honest, I think this matches most with their life situation. Understand I'm not whining or looking for pity, but my life has been a complete mess for over a decade. In and out of jobs, taking what I can get, settling, compromising. I gave up on hoping for something better a long time ago, but well, the people in my life who are close to me keep encouraging me to try and chase my dreams. That's why I'm here. I'm looking for the answer to your question. But I won't be daydreaming all the time, I promise. In my last job, I was a lifeguard. That takes a lot of focus. I'll be just as attentive in helping your funplex. That's what I mean, is that, like, being a lifeguard is a lot of focus. I think it's probably good for Bradley to get a break from that. That perks her attention. Oh my, a rather serious occupation that, and an unusual step from such troubled waters, to a land of make-believe. You enjoyed this role as a lifeguard, I take it? Yes, ma'am. My roommate says she often noticed me smiling after coming home from work, which makes Francine smile in turn. I can't say I can offer a role with such high stakes, but you'd be surprised at the many ways one can save a life, even here. Oh, Francine, that's 100% true. Very well, I'm satisfied. Let's get you to work. I breathe easier, I bet. Oh, that's it. Nice. Probably the weirdest job interview I've ever had, to be sure, and yet it felt appropriate. Like it was about far more than just filling a slot on the payroll. It only occurs to me now that I forgot to ask exactly what duties this mystery job I'd accepted really involved. Francine gestures to the seat she was occupying previously, a stool behind the prize desk.
How marvelous.
Welcome to your new position, Bradley. Sitting here, you mean? Sitting here and helping players redeem tickets for valuable prizes. I glance at the wide array of pencil toppers, rubber spiders, and tiny plastic toy cars on display. Don't knock arcade prizes, Bradley. Well, for prizes, at any rate. It's such a relief. I've really been stretching myself thin lately, trying to fill in since that position was vacated. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, why did the last guy who sat here end up quitting? Something about being so bored out of his mind that he felt like jamming one of those 500 tickling plush dolls down someone's throat. Oh, it's funny.
Oh, such a shame.
This wasn't cut out for this line of work. Grandson or no, I have no patience for such nonsense. Well, sometimes you have to fire your own grandson, Francine. Sometimes that's the way it works. The last person to work this desk was your grandson? Anyway, Gavin should be by soon. He'll handle paperwork and all that administrative nonsense. Now, if you don't mind, all this talking has tired me out some. I'll be in the back office if you need me. I adjusted my seating on a semi-comfortable stool, leaning against the desk. Beneath me, a wide array of cheap junk awaited my attention. I could have lost hope then and there that this job would ever be slightly more engaging than being a diner dishwasher, but chose to look on the positive side. I'd be helping kids obtain toys that could become nostalgic memories for years to come. That's a great positive attitude, Bradley. Look at that smile on their face. Look at that smile. Right? Any minute now. Yeah. Yep. I crave the sweet embrace of death. It's a tough first day, Bradley. I'm sorry. I've been sitting here for 2 hours, and nobody's walked up to obtain a novelty Funplex shot glass, or a colored pencil set, or a light-up yo-yo. Lunchtime's approaching, and so far the only people walking in and out of the arcade are a few stray adults who have no interest in cheap friendship bracelets. You don't know their lives, Bradley. Thankfully, my first customer of the day arrives before I start wondering if one of those 500 ticket plushies could really fit down someone's throat. Or maybe not. Nope, just walking right on by me, his head buried in reading some sort of spreadsheet off his tablet. Oh, this must be Gavin. Was he here to play? Doesn't seem like the typical businessman on a break or unwashed and unemployed game aficionado. In fact, he's a snappy dresser. Seems like a cool dude. Wow, that was a really, quick glance. I mean, he was a snappy dresser. Works for an arcade. He must be relatively cool. I don't want to say he seems stuck up yet. This is a little strong, so I'm gonna go with this one. Most guys I know are content to toss on a t-shirt and jeans. Not like this guy. Even in an arcade, he's sharp like a linoleum knife. In fact, oh, he is cute. That rather pointed look he's offering me after doubling back is rather linoleum knifey too. I like him. I like this guy. Cool dude. Hold on a minute. Who are you exactly? Oh, he doesn't have a voice yet. What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? I am Francine. I had some work done. I'm gonna go with... This one's really funny. The wonders of plastic surgery. Oh, he didn't like that. I'm Bradley. She hired me to work the desk. I'm her grandson's replacement. He doesn't look pleased with me jerking him around like that, but nods in satisfaction anyway. Oh, he can't have fun. Never mind. He's not my type if he can't have fun like that. It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work the desk. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor, but sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. So, she explained the job to you, gave you papers to sign. She said Gavin would handle that stuff. With a sigh, he rubs his forehead like he's feeling a headache coming on.
That would be me. I'm Gavin Cooper. I'm the business manager here at the Funplex. I make sure we manage to keep having a business, rather than a pile of rapidly collapsing fiscal mistakes.
Okay, Gavin. I'm sure she's not that bad. Right, so as you've no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes, but that's the least part of your job. There's more to it than that. You're the floor attendant. You attend to the floor. Thank you, Gavin. What, the carpets? What, the curtains? Okay, sorry, my Monty Python reference.
Seriously?
The floor, the arcade, the games, the patrons. You're the one running around, putting out fires and sorting out problems. Technically, you're our second floor attendant. Ashley will be in later, but we need two. One to roam, one to operate the desk. I do it myself, but I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall to bankruptcy. Gavin has a really negative life outlook. That's why Francine loves filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I am not a people person, as you've likely gathered. Yes, I've gathered that. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner, at least. If things go south, you tap me for advice on what to do. You got a phone? Of course. Gavin quickly passes me his business card. He apparently had a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure. His phone number is listed at the bottom. Always carry your business cards. He has got a rip in his pants. Just kidding. Not snappy dresser. Totally unprofessional. 0 out of 10, Gavin. You ever worked in a high-pressure customer service job before? Shoe sales. Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right. Well, you know how to keep your head when a customer doesn't, I hope. When anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi. In that order. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough.
I think not.
Above all, do not bug Francine. She's practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Comprendo? This is not my... But 911 for huge emergencies, right? It's not my first explosive ordnance test. I've worked retail and food service, and I worked as a lifeguard at a pool. Managing stress in difficult situations, even life or death ones, is something I've gotten experience in. You can rely on me. Bradley definitely seems like a reliable employee. I would 10 out of 10 hire Bradley. Oh, I got a Gavin point.
Indeed.
Indeed. Good. I like to hear that. If you can handle yourself and exercise good judgment, you'll last a hell of a lot longer than the last guy who sat here.
If you stay clear and honest with me, do your work, do it well, we'll get along swimming.
Cool.
I have enough problems keeping this magical arc of hopes and wishes afloat. Please, don't add to my problems.
Magical arc of what now? Gavin sighs again, a stress release gesture, but his expression softens somewhat afterwards.
I take it Francine told you her theory, that this is more than just a job, more than just an arcade.
Yeah, we're also preparing for the zombie apocalypse. Oh, he looks distraught. I guess he does not agree with that. That's my understanding.
I'm not into dressing up words. I like to speak plain. If I'm hurt, then that's because optimization is a factor of my job.
No, this guy's not as fun as someone who you would expect to work in an arcade, but I guess he's like the business side of it, but still.
Everybody working here wants to work here. This is where they belong, for one reason or another. Me, I love chaos. I love wrangling chaos specifically. The arcade industry is high risk, high reward. I manage that risk so that they can also find happiness in their lives. Everybody in this business has a dream they're chasing. It's a fragile thing, prone to getting crushed by hard reality. My job is to see to it that never happens.
Oh, Gavin.
That includes Francine, who deserves better in her twilight years than desperately propping up a semi-failing business.
Oh, semi-failing. Now I'm sad.
So, you find some value in this place beyond your salary, or you'll burn out. Trust me. Last guy to sit there burned out hard.
Yeah, but I feel like that's how it is in every job. You have to have some sort of, like, attachment or connection, or else you're just gonna, like, hate it.
Now, can I trust you to mesh with our merry misfits?
I'm still trying to figure out my why. Yeah, I don't want to, like, get at him. To be honest, I'm still sorting out why I'm here, what my dream is. But I'm not here to step on anyone else's dreams in the process. I'm here to do my best at supporting everyone. Bradley, I love you. Good to hear. Another Gavin point, sweet. I'd say we share similar views, then. It'll be a pleasure to work with someone who's actually enthusiastic and competent. There better be, like, at least one emo boy I can romance. Because the Gavin is, like, there's Gavin, there's two women who love to see what they're... Oh, and then there's my friend. But I need more... Well, I'm assuming whatever their names are, I'm assuming they're women, but we don't know. And hopefully this hive of weirdness will help you find your dreams along the way. Anyway, I need to go prepare your paperwork. Technically, you shouldn't be working until you've crossed the I's and dotted the T's, but since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around? That would be accurate. If you're willing to fudge things a bit and work today anyway, it'd help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi could really use a hand in the workshop. A good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Oh, good. I'll meet Naomi. Wait, someone else is here? I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, sounds like Naomi. The workshop's through the door there, the one next to the UFO catcher, the crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Gavin heads in the back, presumably to go to the office to crunch some numbers. If Francine's really taking a nap back there, hopefully he's going to crunch quietly. My first coworker ended up decidedly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be. Oh, but he's not a total jerk, definitely. Yeah, he's kind of serious, but there's nothing wrong with that. He's a good heart. I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I decided to give this guy an honest chance for now. I appreciate, as a really blunt person, Bradley, I appreciate that. Anyway, I should go meet my next coworker, this Naomi that he mentioned. Although I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. Also, Naomi is mysterious. A double door, also marked employees only. Oh, apostrophe! Leads from the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. Yeah. I find what is very likely this Naomi, speaking only of in myth and legend. Oh, she's cute! A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is tinkering away on what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Huh, I didn't realize they had so many circuits. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy soldering a capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metal fills the air of the poorly ventilated workshop. Excuse me. For lack of a better way to interrupt her. I was worried no matter what I did, she might, I don't know, burn her fingers or jump so high she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not quite that intense. Ah!
Oh. Hey, you know this room is for employees only.
She said, with no apostrophe.
Are you lost? Do you need something?
I'm Bradley Cater. I'm the new floor attendant, starting today.
Oh! Hi. I didn't realize Francine already found someone. I guess I forgot to check my text. Oh, whoops.
She spreads a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench, where a huge stack of green notification messages lie in wait. Oh, Naomi. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. Yeah, she's a hot mess. Like, she's cute. I wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand. I always assume retro arcade nerds were fat middle-aged guys. Oh my god, she's so cute. I just want to hug her, but that was super inappropriate. That one. I'm a weak-willed human being, one who grew up feeling mighty funny whenever I saw Velma from Scooby-Doo. Nerds need love too, you know, and when I was moved from school to school, a social outcast, I was drawn to fellow outcasts in turn. Still, beyond my weird libido, mostly I notice how much she's smiling as she wells that little thing onto the bigger thing. She's just so happy and at peace. And I can appreciate that joy in one's nerdy passions. Me too, Bradley. Me too.
Anyway, I'm Naomi Fairchild, the Funplex's techie. Hi! Pleased to meet you. I was expecting Gavin, though. He usually checks up on me about now.
There's another weird... I like all their weird penguins everywhere. He's busy doing strange things with numbers.
Ugh, yeah, that sounds like Gavin. I take it he sent you along to help? Great. Give me a hand with this monitor. It's really heavy, and I'm still paranoid about dropping it after what happened last time.
Well, she's so mini. She needs help. What happened last time?
Well, I dropped it.
Yeah. Yeah, Bradley. Oh, right. She helps me lift the large cathode ray tube, slotting the heavy metal framework into place within the exposed guts of a nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking wires back to other wires. Surprisingly, there's a surprising number of green circuit boards in that largely hollow wooden shell. This is the first time I've seen inside one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple large slabs of circuits, and a beefy monitor. Maybe we could fill it with nacho dip! Why is it so empty in there? This is kind of a weird... It's my first time seeing the guts of a game. I feel like that none of the other ones don't, like, literally make no sense. Like, they're just non-total non-sequiturs. I'll admit, I don't know much of anything about how arcade games tick. I figured it was packed full of circuits and things. Naomi keeps working, using a pocket multimeter to check various connections as she speaks. It could be packed in tighter, like a bar top or a cocktail cap. I'd say upright's favorite form over functionality. A bar top or a cocktail cap. I can't visualize in my mind what those things mean, but...
Let me explain.
I mean, compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standing players, so they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down, but I prefer American style. Ours have more room for art. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on the keyring at her side, then steps back to admire her handiwork. There's genuine joy in that smile, not just at a job well done, but at looking at the whole thing, like it's a fine sculpture.
So beautiful.
Oh, I love the classic Midway style. Look at those sharp angles, the side art decals, the bold font on the marquee, the bezel artwork. The what on the what on the what artwork? With a sigh, Naomi points out key features to me. The strip across the top with a game title, that's the marquee. Yeah, like a movie theater. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? How beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. As for me, well, I agree, it's beautiful in its own way. The way she stares lovingly at this, well, honestly, this box of wood and circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff, I think I understand. It was made to be one whole thing. The art, the style, and of course the game itself, all part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. If you run it in an emulator or on a game console instead, it's made lesser. Yeah, I guess I can see it. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good! Yay, Naomi point! Naomi lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all twinkly and shiny. Finally, so few people really understand the beauty of a classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is going to be great. Especially with that jerk Gavin running the numbers. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin?
I don't know.
Well, don't get me wrong. I can get along with him, generally. But his whole attitude just, ugh.
Ugh.
All he really cares about is money. He keeps the arcade running, yeah, but I just know if he had his way, he'd gut the whole place. If anyone's gonna ruin the Funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. That doesn't sound right. It seemed easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin gave me that whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here. A long-standing argument that the new person really shouldn't get involved with. Workplace drama, Bradley. And yet, I'm involved, aren't I? I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. So I'm not too sure I should prod at it, but I kind of want to know, too. Let her keep talking if she wants. Ugh, I just get so mad thinking about what evil money-minded schemes he's probably cooking up. No, I'm not gonna get worked up. Besides, it's not right of me to dump all this workplace gossip right on the head of the newbie. You seem like a good person, and you love arcade games like I do. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of person. Well, a strong person, at least. Well, you're a person, that's enough. I was a lifeguard, I'm relatively strong. I'm semi-insulted, then? Okay, let's get to it. A little to the left now. My left, you're right, careful! Now forward, right, correct. I mean, not turn to the right. Keep it coming, and there. Carefully, tip it into place. Victory! I gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box slotting into place alongside its neighbors. The two-wheeled dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy. Especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched, or worse, falling over. But with the work done, she's all smiles again. Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear, I've been working on that monitor for ages. Those tubes are finicky as heck. And I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback, but thanks for helping me out, Bradley. I think you're gonna do just great here. Happy to bring her... Oh, right. Stomach growling. Food required. Except, I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch.
Pizza on a bagel.
Now I'm just talking here, but if you had pizza on a bagel... Iris, no, I want pizza on a bagel. Shh. Hey, so any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's a cheapo wub-sub sandwich place. But even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know. Wait right here. Naomi, don't tell me I have to eat healthy. Maybe I live off pizza bagels. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. And she's back, scurrying from her hidey hole. Lunchtime! Here you go. Oh my god, Naomi, I met you like 5 minutes ago and you're already feeding me? That's so nice. She presses a boxed lunch into my hands. It's a bento box. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned from her mom back when they lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good healthy things. Wait, you're giving me your lunch? Sure, why not? And yet, when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. What'll you have for lunch then? Oh, I can just get some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole story next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important? See you after lunch. Oh, she's sweet. I can't help but think she was just looking for an excuse to go get some junk food instead. Naomi just reminds me of some of the friends I made back in school. A little weird, a little obsessive about things, but charmingly so. Typical nerdy girl. A little obsessive, but like super cute about it. We seem to think alike in a lot of ways. I think we'll get along just fine. But am I silly to hold out hope for, I don't know, more? Ugh, first day on the job, Bradley, get your head on straight. And yet she did give me her lunch. Me, a total stranger. Gotta be something there, right? So a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories, too. Armed with a box of health food, I retired to the employee lounge to get my munch on. Alright, let's see. If we're gonna meet another person right away, I'll keep playing for a little bit, but otherwise I kinda wanna, you know what, no, it's been a while, so I think I'm just going to save and come back a little bit with part 2, because my mouth is getting tired from talking so much. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me for this Let's Play of Arcade Spirit. And I'll be back with, Bradley and I will be back with another Let's Play in a couple days probably. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you so much for joining me. Keep reading and keep loving. Bye.